It seems like this month is all about trying new hops. So, today's review is this Overtone the Bruce. It is an IPA and the hop is actually called Bruce Hop Blend. Let's see what that's all about. Keep on watching to see if this is the next best thing. Welcome back to Rocker's Beer Review. Today we're going to Scotland and Overtone, another one of these breweries. I mean, Overtone to me, they're like the Scottish version of Arbor Ales. I don't know why I think that, but it's just that they do lots of different beers that I'm slowly making my way through. And they're all been good, you know. Some of them have been really good, but a lot of them have been good. There's nothing poor, so they're a very consistent brewery, and that to me is what makes a good brewery. If they can be more consistent, that's great. Now this is an IPA, and it says it's a hop blend, so I'm not sure exactly how it works, because it says here it's a new hop blend from Freestyle Hops, and it combines the other hops that we know, like Nelson Sauvin, Motueka, Pacifica and Southern Cross. Now, Pacifica and Southern Cross don't really pop up that much. I'm not sure what they're all about. But obviously, we're looking at the more sort of New Zealand type of hops, Southern Hemisphere sort of hops. It says, enjoy fresh gooseberries, citrus notes, ripe tropical fruit and orange blossom. But as I said, when it says the hops, it says the Bruce Hop Blend. And that they've released this one called the Bruce, and they've also released another one called the Betty, and they're sort of like brother and sister sort of releases, really. So I'm not sure what the Betty's all about. If I can get hold of that one, then we'll find this one out. But 5.5% is quite low for an IPA. But let's crack this open, get it into the glass, see what it's all about. I'm expecting, if it's got that, Nelson Sauvin. I said in a recent video that the likes of Sabro, which is a very distinctive hop. Nelson Sauvin is also a very sort of distinctive hop. Certainly, it's got that grape, gooseberry sort of profile to it, which is very, it's that New Zealand style is almost very much like their sort of wine style. I mean, beer in a glass. I mean, look at that colour. That is the pure custard. Really hazy, yellow, custard-looking beer. Yeah, let's say about the head, because I think I sort of made that like ready for a flake. Yeah, so a bit of a bad pour. I poured this one too, because you've got about 4 fingers of head there. So I'm sure that will go down. But that is what I'm looking for in a beer. That is the colour. That is almost like when I see that colour, I know I'm in for a good time. You know, I know this is going to be a good beer when I see that colour. That yellowy custard colour, I just know it's going to be good. Let's, with the head, although it's going down a little bit, but it's very compacted and it's bright, icy white. Let's see what the aromas are like. Yeah, they're quite subtle. But they're sort of coming through. That gooseberry aroma is coming through, and yeah, I'm getting a sort of almost like a vanilla-y, creamy sort of aroma to it. Whether that's just because I'm going to get through all this head before the actual beer is there, I'm not sure. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say it was overly powering, but it smells pretty good. It smells, the gooseberry's definitely there, and the sort of white grape as well, which is very, Nelson Sauvin-esque. So the head's going down a little bit. Let's get tucked in. Cheers, everyone. Lovely soft mouthfeel. Really creamy. And for a 5.5%, I was a bit surprised. That was the thing that put me off. I thought, low ABVs are going to be a little bit more watery, a little bit too carbonated, but it's got a really nice, creamy sort of mouthfeel to it. Yes, I can get that distinctive Nelson Sauvin, but it's a little bit toned down. It's almost as if that creaminess is almost overpowering the flavour. Everything's a little bit dialed back than normal. I mean, sometimes I've had Nelson Sauvin sort of beers. You get them in IPAs, you get them in double IPAs. It's a big, strong flavour. That white grape, the gooseberry, kiwi fruit, all those sort of flavours. And although I'm getting them, they're a little bit dialed back, and there's other things in there trying to sort of wrestle with that. Whether that's the Pacifica, the Southern Cross, it's almost like a sort of Nelson Sauvin light. I don't want to say shandy, because there is definitely a different sort of flavour with that Nelson Sauvin. It's toned down a little bit. And I think this is what it's all about. They're taking that sort of, this blend of these sort of New Zealand hops, or the Southern Hemisphere sort of hops, and they're blending them to get a more subtle flavours. And actually it works really well. That creaminess though, that gives it a little bit of an edge. So you're getting the grape, you're getting the gooseberry, you're getting a much fresher, softer. The bitterness is so lacking. It's almost like there's no bite at all. It's so, because the mouthfeel is so soft, it's almost like you're waiting for it to sort of tell you and remind you that it's beer, and it doesn't. It tastes like a nice, grapey, fruity sort of smoothie. I'm going to say, look at it now in the glass. I mean, okay, I've poured the rest of it out. The head has gone down, but it's still there. It's, you know, I'm going to have a quick look just to make sure. I mean, yeah, you got the hops and the oats, but I'd say there's loads of hops in, loads of oats in this as well, because there's a lot. The softness of it is off the scale in terms of how soft it is. I don't think I've had a beer as soft as this before. Yeah, the carbonation is so soft. It's perfect for an IPA. You're getting the Nelson Sauvin, but it's definitely a lot more dialed back than you would probably expect when you have Nelson Sauvin hops. Motueka, you know, has that sort of very similar sort of profile. And as I say, Pacifica and Southern Cross, I don't really know much about. It says gooseberries. Gooseberries is definitely a big flavour. Big in the aroma, big in the flavour. Then it says citrus. Yeah, I mean, it's got this nice wash of sort of lemons and limes in there. A little bit of pink grapefruit, a little bit of sweetness in there. And it says orange blossom. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't think I really taste that orange blossom. I don't really know what orange blossom is about. I think, again, it's a soft, subtle orange flavour. And you could probably say it is, but that's what these flavours are like. It's like it floats across the tongue, that it doesn't allow it. It floats so high above the sort of tongue and the taste buds that by the time it's gone down, it flirts with the flavour, but you don't really get to the point where you think, I know what that flavour is. It doesn't coat the mouth. It doesn't coat those taste buds in the way that a lot of IPAs can do. It's pillowy soft. As I said, this is the softest beer that I've ever tasted. And you know what? I love it. I think it's a really good beer. Overtone. They're one of those sort of breweries that now every month when I look at what beers are, I think, well, what's Overtone got? Let's get one of those. This is the best beer I've had from Overtone. I've had some good beers, but this is definitely the best beer. This is a really good beer. It's all about that pillowy softness. I don't know how they do it. It's almost like defies gravity the way that you drink it. It's like drinking a light marshmallow. It's almost like when you go to those sort of really posh restaurants or you've seen it on MasterChef and stuff like that, and it's like, oh, we do this thing and it's got this, that and the other in it, and then on the side it's like this foam, and you think, what the hell is this foam? And it's like, it is a foam. It's like a bit of foam. You get it with desserts and stuff like that. That's what this is like drinking. It is almost like you're drinking the foam. And then there's little subtlenesses of grapes and gooseberries and citrus fruits sort of dancing around in the mouth, but they're so light that they don't hang around. And you know what? You think, oh, I want to get more of that flavour. So you drink it again, and it makes it really easy to drink. It's an incredible beer, and I'm really glad I had it. And now I'm going to seek out Betty to see how that works. But I definitely would drink this again, and I would recommend anyone who sees it to give it a go. If you've had this, let me know in the comments, because it's an interesting taste sensation, I would say. cracking beer. These Glaswegians know what they're doing. So let's get some scores. Okay, the scores are in, and spoiler alert, they're big ones. So this is the Overtone, the Bruce. It's only a 5.5% IPA. It's got this Bruce hop blend, which has got a lot of Southern Hemisphere sort of hops. You've got your Nelson Sauvin, your Motueka. Those ones are the big sort of New Zealand hops that you know. But also Pacifica and Southern Cross, which is not really hops that appear that much. It's a cracking beer, but you know what the big thing is? It's the soft, pillowy, floaty-like mouthfeel that really makes this beer, elevates this beer into a superb beer. We'll go through the scores. Aroma. So the first things with the aroma was that, yeah, you're getting those sort of typical Nelson Sauvin and Motueka, those sort of hops, where you're getting the gooseberry, you're getting the sort of white grape, you get a little bit of melon, you're getting citrus fruits. But it's a little bit dialed back than you normally would think. But it's really quite pleasant. It's really distinctive. You know, I think the New Zealand hops are really distinctive, and I do really like them. I'm giving it 14 for aroma. Appearance. Well, as I said, when I poured it out and I saw that colour, look at that colour, that bright yellow straw custardy sort of colour, and we did have quite a big sort of head at the beginning, but it's gone down, but it's still there. Look at the way that it is like foam. Look at this. Look at that. That is beautiful. That is that's beer porn. That is in a glass. I think that is worthy of a 10 out of 10. I just love that colour. When I see that custard colour, I just know I'm in for a treat, you know. Flavour-wise, yes, like the aromas, you're getting those, you know, the Nelson Sauvin and Motueka. It's a little bit dialed back. It's not as strong. But the thing that really grabs you is that it flirts with your mouth. It floats across the mouth. It is almost like drinking a foam, where you're getting that subtleties of that flavour, but it's all about that sort of pillowy mouthfeel. It's all about that. That's what it is. That's what this beer is all about. It's all about the way that it sort of floats over the mouth. It has that real nice subtlety of flavour. You know, sometimes you want a double IPA and you want massive hits of that Nelson Sauvin. You want it to coat the throat. You want it to almost strangle those taste buds and say, you know, you've got to really enjoy me. But this is very different. It has those flavours, but they dance across your mouth in a way it's quite erotic, I would say. It's a lovely flavour. I'm giving it 35. Value for money. Yeah, this was £4, just over £4. I should have bought more. It's a really good beer. I'm giving it a 8 out of 10 for value. It's in a small can, 5.5. Well, it's in a 440 can. It's 5.5%. I don't know, the value, I'm giving it 8 because I think it's a solid number 8. But where we go up is the overall experience, because, you know, I've reviewed, I don't know, somewhere in the region of 400 beers since I've had this channel. That's a lot of reviews. There's a lot of beer that I've analysed. But I've never tasted a beer as soft and as floaty as this. It's almost like you've poured it. You know, when you pour a beer, when you say you take it out of the keg, or, you know, you put your new barrel. You know, when you go to the pub, you go to they go, oh, the barrel, we're going to change the barrel. You change the barrel, you pour the beer out, and you get in, and all this foam's there, and it's all very sort of like, you'll pour that away. It's not proper beer. But it's that. This is what it has, that sort of impression on me. It feels like I'm getting almost like all this foam, where the flavour's just so subtle. But it's not foam, but it has that sort of flavour, you know. I'm really struggling to describe it, apart from to say this is a spectacular beer, and the mouthfeel is the star of it. Overall experience, I'm giving it an 18. I don't think I've given a higher beer rating for overall experience as this. 18, because I'm loving it. I'm loving the fact that it's given me a new sensation. It's given me something different. You drink, you know, as I say, going back to that, 400 odd reviews, and you start thinking, you know, you guys out there, do you want to hear what, you know, that we taste like mango, tastes like pineapple, you know, it's got a soft mouthfeel, it's got low levels of carbonation, low bitterness, etc., etc. You hear it all the time. But once in a while, a beer comes on that that just sort of shatters all of that and just makes it like the first time you drank craft beer. And this is what this beer is doing for me. I'm quite, you know, I'm getting a little bit over emotional and a bit ecstatic about it, but I'm giving it 18 for overall experience. So that elevates this beer to a highly recommended 85 out of 100. I think it's probably one of the highest rated beers that we had for this year. So give it a go. Overtone the Bruce. I mean, it's one of those sort of beers you see there and you read it, go, yeah, hop blend, it's some sort of quirky thing, yeah, but it's a sort of, yeah, we've had New Zealand hops before, we know what it's like, we know what you expect. But give this a try, because I think you'll be very surprised at the way it makes you feel, and the way that that soft, almost like a light foam flavour is going across those taste buds. Cracking beer, cracking brewery, 85. It's funny because it's the heaviest of heavy metal, but it's probably the softest of soft rocks in terms of the way it feels on your mouth. It's like Europe on the taste buds. It's yacht rock. That's what it is. And if you want to know more what yacht rock's all about, then yeah, stick around. We may do a video on yacht rock. But until the next one, keep on soft rocking.